This is the first of a series of videos that will show how to make different parts for the heavy haul loader and then assemble it. Here are views of the loader as an exploded view and then the different parts. And here are all of the parts on this sheet here. In this video I'll show how to make the chassis, which is the lower body here, and these support, which is this part here in front that holds the bucket. Looking at the bill of materials here for the chassis, we can see the size, 3/4, 2 1/8 by 4 1/4. Notice that it specifies the thickness, the width, and the length. The thickness is going to be usually the narrow one because that's the thickness of a piece of wood that you would use. The width is going to be the second dimension in length, and then the length will be the longest dimension usually. To get started here in Inventor, we'll start by making a new project file. So go to Projects and go to New, Single User Project, browse to where I want to store this project. I'll create a folder for it. And a project name. And now I'm in that project there, as you can see here. And now I can do a new part. Back to the plans, we can see that the chassis is 2 1/8 inch wide, 4 1/4 inch long, and 3/4 inch thick. So I'll start by making a rectangle and extruding it up 3/4 inch, 2 1/8 by 4 1/4. I'll do the sketch on the XZ plane so that the part is lying flat, and then draw 2 1/8 by 4 1/4, and then extruding it 3/4. Next, I'll put the holes in it, and the holes, as we can see, are 13 32nd inch holes, 1 inch from the back and 1/2 inch from the front, and then they're 3/8 inch from the top, which is halfway because it's 3/4 inch. So using the hole tool, I'll place a linearly referenced hole on the side. It's going to be referenced 1 inch from the back and 3/8 from either the top or the bottom. And 13 32nds in diameter. Apply that and then do a second one. This time it's 1/2 inch from the front and 3/8 from the top and 13 32nds. Last thing for this part is that there are 1/4 inch roundovers on all 4 corners. So I'll use the fillet tool for that. Setting it at 1/4 inch and selecting the 4 corners. So there is the chassis, and that is the first part. I'll save it as the chassis. It's a good idea to make sure you save them with accurate names. That way you don't have to change the name when you want to create a parts list later. I'll save it in capital letters so that they show up as capital. I'll do a new part. Standard IPT. And this time we're going to do the support, which is this piece right here. Notice in the bill of materials for the support, it lists it as thickness of 1 with a material type of LP. P for the chassis is pine for a type of wood. LP would be laminated pine, indicating that it's 2 pieces glued together. So it's 1 inch in thickness because there'd be 2 1/2 inch pieces that would be glued together. So it's 1 inch this direction, 1 1/8 inches this direction, And according to the bill of materials, it's 1 5/8 inch tall. So I'll make a block, that's those dimensions. 1 inch by 1 1/8 by 1 5/8. Then on the narrow side, on the one side, there's half inch round over, which makes a half circle, and then a 13/32 inch hole centered in the same, centered with reference to the round over. So we'll do a fillet of a 1/2 inch on these two sides. You can see it makes a nice half circle. And then the hole tool, this time is going to be concentrically referenced on this side with reference to here, and it's going to be 13/32. And I'll save that as the support. Alright, that's it for this video.